The Toronto Marlies with their first 3 in 3. 3 games, 3 days, less than 48 hours really to get all 3 completed. Last year, the Marlies dominated this weekend's opponents. They were 7-1 against the Rochester Americans and 7-1 against the Manitoba Moose. But things have changed in both clubs. First up, the head coaches have changed. Rochester has brought in Dan Lambert, who had a handful of games with the Quebec Nordiques as an NHL player, but as a junior player went through a tragic season with the Swift Current Broncos and ended up winning the Memorial Cup. He takes over as the 31st head coach in Rochester history as the Sabres look to produce a winning atmosphere in Rochester. Manitoba, a coaching change as well, as Keith McCambridge moves on, and they replace him with Pascal Vincent. Vincent was a Jets assistant coach and a previous head coach of the year in the QMJHL with Cape Breton.
Well, I think it's less about a new team, more about a new league, getting to learn the league and stuff like that. The 2 coaches we're facing, they're both guys that are familiar within their organizations, so it's a little different for them. That way, I'm sure they're more comfortable. I'm excited about that opportunity to get to know some of the new coaches in the league and some of the things they'll bring to their teams. We're expecting our division to be a lot more competitive this year with some of the acquisitions, not just in coaches but players. Manitoba as a team, not in our division, but we certainly see them a lot. So, but it's going to be an exciting weekend, 3 in 3 for us. It's daunting when you look at it, but I think our guys are ready to just be playing games. It's been a long week.
Andrew, first 3 in 3 of the season. What do you advise some of these young guys to stay ready for that?
Well, we know their grinds, and especially with a little bit of travel here. So just making sure everyone was properly taking care of themselves all week, and making sure everyone's staying hydrated and getting ready for obviously the grind of the weekend.
You can't ask for any better, I think, preparation as far as a coaching staff is concerned. Coming into this season, did you guys feel and continue to feel like that is your ace in the hole?
Oh, for sure. We have every single resource possible around here to make sure that we're at the best of our ability, and the coaching staff is always making sure that the schedule is favorable for the players, so that when the weekend comes that we're able to perform as best we can.
They're always pretty tough, and they're tough on the body, so it's important for us to take care of ourselves during the week and make sure we're prepared for a tough weekend.
We talk about preparation. This coaching staff, this whole staff, seems to hang their hat on preparation. How prepared did you guys feel coming into the season and going into this weekend too?
Yeah, obviously it's kind of a flurry coming into the season. We only had about 5 days to practice before the weekend, but obviously during camp with the Leafs, we're doing all the same systems and stuff like that. So it's a good chance there for the guys to kind of get into the groove of everything, and I felt like we did a pretty good job this weekend.
Colin, no stranger to the 3 in 3. What do you do, and what do you advise some of these younger guys to do to be ready for this kind of situation?
Well, I think a lot of the onus is on the younger players to do things right in the first game, because it's like a trickle-down effect. A lot of times what you do in the first game will pay dividends in game 3. And that only comes with playing well in the game, but like what you do after the game. So I think it's like going to be a learning experience for the younger guys. I know a lot of these guys have played junior, or they've come from college where you've had those 3 in 3s, but they may not have had the same travel or the different times. So I would say this will be a learning experience for them, but definitely what you do in the game, and I mean, especially after the game, especially what you put in your body.
It starts out on the road for the Toronto Marlies as they face the Rochester Americans on Friday night. You can catch that game at marlies.ca and the AHL Live. And then on the weekend, both games on Leafs TV. First up, the Manitoba Moose on Saturday at 5 o'clock. And then Sunday, we'll have the game for you on Leafs TV as well.